You Muslim scholars, you are looking at the birth of the kingdom of Islam. We call you here like the wise men of old who saw a star and they traveled to where the baby was. The baby had no room to come to birth. She had to give birth in a manger, or come to birth in a manger. The wise men who saw the baby came bringing gold. What baby needs gold? All babies that I know of need milk. But here's a baby that needs gold. Gold for what? It's not talking about a child being born from a single mother. It's talking about a nation coming to birth that needs gold to build its own institutions and carve out a destiny for itself.
That is right. That is right. Good evening, good morning, rather, and welcome. This is Brother Eric Ture Muhammad coming to you live from the world of our classroom. Means strap in, get a good seat. We're going to go on a little ride this morning. This morning is designed to be pretty much commentary, Q&A. Why you, why Karatbars, why now? Saving gold now, and gold will save you. Saving gold now, and gold will save you. We're going to play a certain series of commentary, and that commentary is designed to help hone in on the thoughts for today. And with that being said, I'm going to replay this particular clip from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There'll be a series of clips, but I'm going to play this one first and then replay this one first, and then I'm going to come back to our focus or our discussion for today. So bear with us as we pull this back up for you.
You Muslim scholars, you are looking at the birth of the kingdom of Islam. We called you here like the wise men of old who saw a star and they traveled to where the baby was. The baby had no room to come to birth. She had to give birth in a manger, or come to birth in a manger. The wise men who saw the baby came bringing gold. What baby needs gold? All babies that I know of need milk. But here's a baby that needs gold. Gold for what? It's not talking about a child being born from a single mother. It's talking about a nation coming to birth that needs gold to build its own institution. institutions and carve out a destiny for itself.
Okay, so yesterday I came across an interesting discussion from Robert Kiyosaki, and he posted it on the 13th of April. I want you to read this with me. He says the Fed is broke, talking about the Federal Reserve. The Fed is broke. Hidden in secret, the $2.2 trillion Congress rescue bill was buried a $425 billion for Fed. Fed has been bailing out the world since 2008. Who bails out the Fed? Now we know. We are, he says. Why are Fed and Treasury hiding this from us? And then he urges us all to buy more gold and silver and Bitcoin. And he ended it with the commentary screwed. This is why. Here you have a live running debt. This debt is the U.S. national debt. Now, there's a world clock attached to it. There's a world clock that shows you how the dollar and the value system are collapsing around the world. But let me just enlarge this for you so you get a greater idea of what we're talking about and what you might want to consider in the little Q&A portion that we may have today. Now, look, this is the U.S. debt clock. This clock runs repetitively, constantly, okay? This clock tracks the increasing amount of debt in the United States. You see all this here? All that red? Yeah, I know you think there's a Christmas colors because you see some red and green. Very little green. The green represents the surplus in certain categories, but at the same time, if you look at the dollar amounts, they are decreasing by the tens and thousands of dollars by the second. The U.S. federal tax revenue is on decline. State revenues are on decline. Local revenues are on decline. Total U.S. debt is ever growing. All the red increases, all of the green decreases, and in the black is the running budget for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Look at the defense, the war budget. Look at this war budget and look at the interest that is accumulating on the debt. Now, the one thing that's a constant that I want you to see, I wish I could highlight it better, but gold is sitting at $20,626 per ounce. $20,626 per ounce. But man manipulates the costs so that you wouldn't see the true value of the asset that you can get in your hands right now. So this is the context by which we're presenting our offering our presentation today. And with that being said, we will continue. You can make your comments in the comment section of the page, and we'll be able to pull from it. Hopefully, if there are questions, please be free to ask the questions, and we'll pull from it when we finish running this series of video commentaries. Thank you.
See you. Come on, bring it up as soon as you can. Brother Jamil Muhammad of Mosque number 6, 1 gram of 24 karat solid gold. I don't know how much that's worth, but let's give him a round of applause. What? I don't know, but okay, y'all must think it's not worth that. Y'all can do better than that. 24 grams of gold. Thank you. We also want to acknowledge our sister from Gilbert, Arizona, Sister Jalila F. Muhammad says she has $2,000 to back the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the work of the restoration and redemption and resurrection of our people. I just received something in my hand. I've got 10 envelopes in my hand. 10 envelopes in my hand from Brother Anonymous. He didn't want to be recognized, but he told me that he said, look, for every $1,000 you can get from the audience, I'll match it with a $1,000 donation. So I have 10 envelopes in my hand with $1,000 each. We need 10 people to step up and say, I have 1,000, and for every time you give one, Brother Anonymous is going to put his $1,000 in too. We got a first taker, Brother Anonymous. Brother Hashim 3X says, count him in. He has a $1,000 donation. I don't know if y'all see what I see, but I'm looking at Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. She's here, sisters and brothers, the wife of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the mother of the faithful. She's been with her husband 64 years on the battlefield, sacrificing, serving, soldiering. Let's show our love for Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, the first lady of the leader of the real free world, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She's been the wind beneath the wings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We thank Allah for her. We thank Allah for the Farrakhan family who has endured death threats. All of that time that they've been in the cause house firebomb. But Mother Khadijah has never wavered, not one atom's weight. In her uncompromising, unyielding support, she's the prime example of what a real black woman looks like. Backing her man up 1,000%. We thank Allah for Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. All praise is due to Allah. The 24 grams of gold, we just got the numeric equivalent to it. That's equivalent to $2,700. Let's give Brother Jamil another round of applause. Thank you, Brother Jamil.
Structure get rebuilt. Oh, what happened to George Bush's stimulus package of nearly $800 billion? You don't even know where that went. Nobody's saying nothing. Nobody asking. But all of a sudden, our brother is the guilty party for putting America in debt. See, if you don't study, you cannot defend him. If you don't study, you can't help him. America went into debt starting in 1913. She was only $1 billion in debt in 1913, and in less than 100 years, she's $56 trillion in debt. How did that happen? Did Brother Barack do that? In 1913, some bankers, Jewish and Gentile, met on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia. And they developed what would later become the Federal Reserve Act, which was passed in Congress December the 26th, 1913. And after that, a group of bankers began to control the monetary service of this nation. Oh, they're right around the corner, and where they print the money, and right next door is the Holocaust Museum. Some of you silly ones wonder why. You say, Farrakhan, why are you doing this? You're making it hard for all of us. No. If you don't know Satan, you can't get free from him. Did I say something? See, the book of Thessalonians puts it nice. That day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed. Not the spirit of sin, the man of sin. Sin is transgression of the law. And these, they're not really Jews. No. They've hijacked Judaism. Those that I'm talking about. This is the synagogue of Satan that you will read about in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Go ahead and study. They print your money. Used to be a time when we could go to the bank and pull out a $50 bill. I happen to have one. Mr. Grant's face is on it. But it says Federal Reserve note. But when I was a young boy, it used to be called a silver certificate, that you could take it to the bank, this is paper, and get in return real money, silver. Take it to the bank now. See that you're being tricked every day. Bring your dollars or your old gold, and we will give you paper. Soon you'll be wiping your backside with paper because real money don't exist. America is broke. She's broke.
Can you hear
Fatima.
me? We can hear you. Go right ahead,
Come
please.
on, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to say good afternoon, Brother Cliff. Assalamu alaikum to our beloved minister, Farrakhan. I want to, say that thank you, Brother Minister, for giving your life so diligently, nonstop, forever almost, and, to save ours. And I wanted to kind of comment on, the question that Brother Cliff asked, what should we be doing in the interim? And I'm an affiliate with Karatbars International, where we're transferring our fiat notes, the money that we call the paper money that we're using right now, and we're transferring it over to gold. So I've become very interested in that, and I wanted to share that with everyone so that when the bottom falls out of this economy with the fiat notes, that we would be more in position to have our money placed or transferred over into gold, which is going to increase in value, not lose its value. So, I wanted to share that with everyone just to, to get on to that. You can contact me. I am, as I said, an affiliate, and it's Fatima X Codes. You can find me on Facebook. Okay. And again, I just wanted to say I love you, Brother Minister, so much with my heart, my whole heart.
And I
Fatima,
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for what you said.
That's
because
right.
About maybe 50 years ago, I was at the breakfast table with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad having coffee. He went into his pocket and he took out a gold coin. And he said, in the future, this will be the medium of exchange. At that time, gold was $35 an ounce. And now it is up to $1,200 or more an ounce. It dropped a little the other day, but as war is on the horizon, it will go back up. So yes, my dear sister, turning fiat money or fake money, as Mr. Trump likes to call it, fake news. Well, fake money is the dollar that you got in your pocket that is nothing more than paper. It's really backed by nothing except the faith that you give to it. Boy, I bought a Cadillac, Cabriolet Cadillac in 1972 for $12,000. Look how the dollar has fallen. If you look at that movie about the rise of Las Vegas, you could buy a home in California at that time for $50,000. You go to California now and you get a little house, you're up to $1 million over nothing. So the dollar has lost its value. And when the war comes and the dollar crashes, I want you to know, brother and sister, Elijah Muhammad taught me that when the dollar goes down, the government will go down behind the dollar. So yes, if you can get your money together, don't go and give your gold away to people coming in your neighborhood giving you paper for gold, even though your gold may be 14 karat or less, you know, but you hardly get any 18 karat gold in America. But when we go in the Middle East, the cheapest gold they got is 18 karat, then 22 karat. And the leaders over there love lots of gold. And activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. In 1913, Woodrow Wilson agreed to the Federal Reserve Act. Nelson Aldrich, a senator, and Paul Warburg and a few of the Jewish families of Europe with Gentiles took over the monetary policies of the United States. In 1917, America got involved in the First World War. In order to fight that war, America had to borrow money, and that's when the debt started. Because when she borrowed money, she had to borrow it from somewhere. Federal Reserve have money printed, you borrow it, you pay the expenditures of war, and all you bought was paper, but this paper has interest attached to it, even though it's based on nothing. Just try to follow me. Don't go to sleep. You've been asleep for 400 years. It's time to wake up today. Now look. After World War I, the debt started climbing. They wanted to draw America into World War II. That was a European thing. Hitler and the boys. But in order for America to get involved in World War II in Europe, she had to borrow more money. The debt started escalating. Then Japan attacked. America borrowed more money. And the more money she borrowed, in 1933, America went off the gold standard. So there was nothing after 1933 to back this. So after that was nothing. And in 1971, it was completed. No more gold. And in the 70s, you could buy an ounce of gold for $35 an ounce. And I was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad one day, and he pulled out a gold coin and put it on the table. And he said, in the future, this would be the medium of exchange. Because the paper will lose its value. Now I want to quickly show how the debt has climbed. After World War II, the Korean War. Every time America went to war, she had to borrow money. There was a time when America would borrow money from her own citizens. We used to buy war bonds. We used to buy treasury bonds and securities that we would keep in a safe for our children. And they would say in 5 years or in 10 years, you can cash this bond in and you will get this plus interest. You remember that? But today, 52% of America's burgeoning debt is owned by foreign governments. So it ain't no more that we could sell bonds to our citizens. We sell bonds to China. We sell bonds and securities to Japan. We sell bonds and securities to Great Britain. Let me show you who owes what. This kind of stuff is classroom stuff. But every time you come to this house, it'll be a classroom. Look, according to this pie graph, intragovernmental debt, $3,794 billion. The publicly held debt, which is still government responsibility, $2,674 billion. But the publicly held foreigners' debt, rather that America owes, is $2,240 billion. The Japanese have bought up $649 billion of American bonds and securities, plus they have $1.2 trillion in foreign currency reserves. The largest currency reserves in the world is in China. You see why America would jump on Cuba, a communist country 90 miles away, and talk sweet to China, a communist country Because China got America by the testicles. I use that language because every male in here knows how painful that is. The Chinese in bonds and securities, 354 billion. The British, 249 billion. OPEC, that's the oil producing countries, 102 billion. Korea, 66 billion. Taiwan, 63 billion. The Caribbean banks, 63 billion. Germany, 56 billion. Hong Kong, 55 billion. Brazilians, 54 billion. Canadians, 49 billion. Luxembourg, 38 billion. Mexico, 36 billion. The French, 31 billion. Singapore, 29 billion. Swiss, 27 billion. The Turks, 24 billion. The Swedes, 19 billion. The Irish, 19 billion. The Dutch, 18 billion. The Thais, 17 billion. The Israelis, 17 billion. The Belgians, 15 billion. The Indians, 15 billion. The Italians, 14 billion. The Poles, 13 billion. And all others, 148 billion. Now, when you go and turn on the news and you find out that China has some American ports, you say, well, how did that happen? The Arabs got so much and so much. The Chinese got. Well, I read that even on I-90, on the toll booth area, that has been sold to Spain. Wait. When America owes all this money all over the world, she's the largest borrower of all the nations in the earth, almost combined. Look at this now. When you owe a lot of money, sometimes in order to get some money back to pay your liabilities, you sell off your assets. Look, family, I just want to come straight to you. The aggregate wealth or worth of 3,000 by 2,000 miles, continental United States of America, is $41 to $50 trillion. All the federal buildings that are in America and all over the world are 1.26 trillion. Now, all these people that America owes, suppose they say, well, wait a minute, America not doing too good. We want to call the debt.
Yep. America may just want to do that. They may just want to call back to business. We played a series of clips here, the majority of them of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we played those clips because of what produced the clips for me was the commentary from Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki said, and I quote, "Is Fed broke? Hidden in recent $2.2 trillion Congress rescue bill was buried a $425 billion for the Fed. Fed has been bailing out the world since 2008. Who bails out the Fed, he says. Now we know. We are, Mr. Kiyosaki says. Why are Fed and Treasury hiding this from us? And then he urged us to buy more gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And he ended with one word in all caps, screwed. Screwed. You see, the reason why I chose the various clips from the various years, even as early as 2019, where wealth builders gave 24 grams of gold publicly across the stage in support of the work of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and another 53 grams were given from the audience. We understand something. We understand the needs of a nation and nations. When we open the session, we open this session with a clip. And matter of fact, I'll share that clip one more time. Now, mind you, if you have any questions, if you have any comments that you like to share, place them in the comments and we'll do our best to make them available to you and for you. And we'll go through them. We don't have a lot of time, but it was really important to me that we shared that information. And I see them coming in, chiming in right now. Hey, Sister Jocelyn Burrell. Brother Duncan. The reason why we are starting Karatbars Nation of Islam class on Saturday, every Saturday, we're going to have class. We're going to teach on Karatbars, the fundamentals Karatbars on fundamentals of Karatbars. Would you be interested in coming? Brother, you know I'll do anything and everything to help our great Nation of Islam community understand the opportunity that's before us, because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says he wants 100 millionaires. Well, I have 2,000 people on my team. I can give at least 10. Let's go. Yeah, let's mash out those details. We can do it virtually, of course, because that's where we are in this opportunity. All right, I'm going to share this clip again with you for those who might have missed it at the beginning. If you have any questions or comments, please, by all means, place them, put them in the comments there, and we'll be sure to share. All right. All right, stand by.
You Muslim scholars, you are looking at the birth of the kingdom of Islam. We called you here like the wise men of old who saw a star and they traveled to where the baby was. The baby had no room to come to birth. She had to give birth in a manger, or come to birth in a manger. The wise men who saw the baby came bringing gold. What baby needs gold? All babies that I know of need milk. But here's a baby that needs gold. Gold for what? It's not talking about a child being born from a single mother. It's talking about a nation coming to birth that needs gold to build its own institutions and carve out a destiny for itself.
That's a fact. That is a fact. So let me show you this really quick. This Sunday, I think it's coming up here. This Sunday, yes, live this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, on the We Are Farrakhan Facebook page. That is my page. That is not the page of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and it will not be the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But on this Sunday, May 3rd, 2020, at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, on the We Are Farrakhan Facebook page. Come on out, check us out, and see and hear an exclusive Wealth Builders Karatbars presentation, primarily geared towards the believing community followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but it's available to all, each and every one. So many of you have been asking in your cities, reaching out and asking me, why isn't the nation more involved? You don't know how many people are in the Nation of Islam any more than you know how many people in the nation are involved. You see, because it's not something we wear on our sleeve. You see, wealth building is a tradition, if nothing else, in the Nation of Islam. We do understand the need and the power of pooling our resources and fending and doing something for ourselves. The reason why I made it such a overture with this presentation by showing all Farrakhan, everything Farrakhan, and showing his relationship to today is because I do understand something. In the black world, when white folks catch a cold, black folks get pneumonia. So we talk about digging our well before we need the water. This is one of the first times in modern history where, as a collective, as a people, we are ahead of the curve. Where other people are trying to flatten the motion of a pandemic, here we are trying to elevate the grasping of an opportunity. Let me share with you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad shared with us back in 1973. In 1973, in his book, Fall of America. Get the book. You can find it at store.finalcall.com. And in fact, chapter 20, The Decline of the Dollar. That was his subject matter. Chapter 20, Decline of the Dollar. And I'm going to share the passage with you here because it's very significant and very relative to where we are. Okay, I got to count now. I can't find 20. All right. So, decline of the US dollar. Okay. The stronghold of the American government is falling to pieces. She has lost her prestige amongst the nations of the earth. One of the greatest powers of America was her dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the medium of exchange between nations. The English pound and the American dollar have been the power and beckoning light of these two great powers. But when the world went off of the gold and silver standard, the financial doom of England and America was sealed. Well, why was that possible? How did that happen, Mr. Muhammad? Well, see, you saw the history that Minister Farrakhan gave regarding 1913 all the way up to 71 when America abandoned the silver and gold standards. See, America is the global currency. The US dollar is the world global currency. But now that it's backed by nothing and is in debt, America has now become the world's largest borrower in the trillions of dollars. And you heard Minister Farrakhan say it. He said that, you know, sometimes nations will pay their liabilities off by selling their assets. So there are bridges and tunnels and ports in America that are owned by the Chinese, by the Japanese, by Koreans, that are owned by Spain, that are owned by Germany and Russia, that are owned by the Dutch. There are many edifices around the world that are owned by other nations, purportedly belonging to America. So when you're broke, what do you do? See, this is something that we need to wake up to, because if they're looking to balance or reset this economy, they have to do it with an asset, folks. And they've taken gold and silver off of the standard. I believe personally that they'll have no choice but to come back to the standard, because there's so much paper floating out there that is devalued everything in the world. And if the American dollar falls flat, so does the world economy fall flat, because it is the globally accepted currency. So that's a problem from those outside of this opportunity in the world of Karatbars. That's why we say, why Karatbars? Why now? This is why we say it. Because we understand the power of what we have. Do you know that we provide the world? We are the largest providers in the world of incremental gold, meaning gold bullion, pure gold bullion in small, friendly weights and increments. What does that mean? That means for you, it's affordable. That means for you, it's transactionable. You can get these. You know, you can get them. You can store them. You can keep them on your own free gold savings account. And as you refer others, it will develop a commission for you and will help you get through a very dark hour for other people, but not necessarily for you. And if you're a true servant of the people, you need to show the people the vehicle by which they can save themselves, because our job is to serve the people. Make no mistake about that. I'm going to continue Mr. Muhammad's commentary here. And please, by all means, if you have a question to provide, please do so. I see Mr. Mustafa, he's up and about. He's hitting it up, boy. He is hitting it up something fierce. All right. Mr. Muhammad continued. He said, the pound has lost 50% of its value. America's dollar has lost everything now as power backing for her currency, which was once backed by gold for every $5 note and up. All of her currency was backed by silver from a $1 note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value, silver or gold. The note today, he says, is something that the government declares they will give you the value in return, but does not name what the value is. God dog. But they definitely are not backing their currency with silver and gold. As I close, this is what Mr. Muhammad says. Quote, this is the number one fall. Number one. Number one. This is the number one fall. And it is very clear that the loss of the power of the American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing for her notes? We do not know. But he said now that this is 1973, and it was getting closer. You saw Minister Farrakhan express how he sat with the messenger for breakfast in 1961, and he pulled out a gold coin. Then the value of it was the cost of it was $35 per coin, a manipulated cost, but $35 for an ounce of gold. Fast forwarding to 2016, he held up his own coin, Minister Farrakhan did, and told us it cost him at that time $1,237. Today, fast forwarding just 4 years, and gold is steadily hovering around $1,750, $1,760 an ounce. But I showed you the world clock. I showed you that the world clock, see, gold is equally yoked around the world. And the U.S. debt clock shows that the cash value they place on an ounce of gold is over $20,000. So what happens when you take your $5 bill, your $5, and exchange it for this? And they recognize one day that the ounce of gold is $20,000, and it comes equally yoked around the world like that. And as a result, you now have a gram of gold that's $2,000. That means, I'm sorry, that's $20,000. No, that's right, $2,000. That means a tenth of a gram of gold that you got for this, you exchange it for this, is now $200. You understand the power of what you have? When you have gold. When you have gold, we have an amazing, amazing program that comes. Mr. Muhammad said we should expect in the next 12 months under the fall of the power of America's dollar. What should we expect? This means that we have 100% inflation. Now, inflation is where the products and goods and services go up, but the value and the power of your dollar decreases. That's familiar, right? You pay more rent today in America for less house. Okay? You know, we show the graphs all the time. In fact, when you tune in today, on goldrocks.info, you'll see the information pop up on the screen again. And you'll see that we have our beautiful power call at 10:45 a.m. Everybody should go to it and check it out on goldrocks.info. And at 12 o'clock, Mr. Michael L. Dalco will do a phenomenal presentation, I assure you, at 12 noon on the same platform, goldrocks.info. And it's going to go into depth about where we are, the time, and what must be done. See, we're forced to be home, right? We fast, we pray. This is our celebratory month known as Ramadan. As Muslims, followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know what I do? I identify all of the frivolous spending I did leading up to this holy month. So all the money I put in coffee, I put it into gold now. All the money I put in candies, junk, and comfort food, I exchange it for gold. In fact, I'm going to share this with you. This is what I heard. I can't say that. Well, it's not what I heard. It's what I know. I was trying to disguise it. But look, any of you that are wealth builders right now, and you're home watching this opportunity, you need to share with the people that there's a way to develop cash flow in this opportunity, and you know how it's done. You know, by saving gold and having a package at the same time and telling two people, just two people, and they duplicate what you do. Duplicate exactly what you do. That's exponential growth. Because those 2 turns to 4, the 4 turns to 8, the 8 turns to 16, the 16 turns to 32, 32, 64, 64, 128. You understand how it goes? And what happens? If you get 2 people to dedicate themselves to doing what you do you know what kind of income you'll have in 3 weeks? Do you know what kind of residual income you can have in the perfect world in 4 weeks? Weekly, we have an opportunity to share this, and we'll be sharing it again. We'll be sharing it this Friday. I'm sorry, this Sunday. We'll be sharing it this Sunday at 3 p.m. on the We Are Farrakhan Facebook page. We're going to give a full presentation there. We're going to talk about the flags and which one will survive the war of Armageddon. You don't want to miss that. You really don't. Okay. So, family, I don't see any questions popping up. All I see are commentaries here. I guess it's well explained. And if that's the case, then I don't have anything else to say. I want you to take this stream. It'll be up. Share it everywhere. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel. That's very important to me that you do, because that YouTube channel, what it does, it in fact, what the YouTube channel does, it in fact allows you to share the different trainings, to share the different seminars and presentations that we've done and others do from around the world about this opportunity. And it allows you to make it easier to share the opportunity with others, because your job isn't to convince anyone. Your job is just to share the information and make plain delivery of it. That's what I consider my role to be. So tomorrow we're back at 8 a.m. Class in session. We have a session dealing with organizing. We must be organized. We must be organized. We must be organized. I can't say enough about that. And in truth, there's a clip I want to show you in closing. And this clip is one of a very gentle giant that I've come to know, love, appreciate, and understand more and more as the days progress. These are some of the clips that we showed Sister Fatima, affiliate Karatbars International, her one-on-one phone conversation with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the Cliff Kelly show, all the actual facts that the minister gave in relation to the debt of America. There's no way they can bail themselves out of it. So again, I did tell you about the power call. So let's not be neglectful and miss that. The power call comes up at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our platform, www.goldrocks.info, www.goldrocks.info. And that beautiful couple there who's been trying to tell us forever, that's Mr. Willie and Mrs. Sherry Brown. These are the real Browns. They'll be on today hosting that exciting power call, and they're going to talk about the gold and why we trust it. Then 12 noon, Mr. Michael L. Dalco will be making one of two presentations. 12 noon, that will happen 12 p.m. noon Eastern on www.gorocks.info. And at 9 p.m. this evening, Miss Tanisha Glaspie will be making the presentation there. And many of us are so excited to have our sister handling the darn thing, you know. So along with that, we have training. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. Screenshot the shares and just pay attention to what's out here, the plethora of information that is available for you. Now, tonight, we have a special new show hosted on the Kafani Radio Facebook page. So 9 p.m. tonight, many of you know this man, Dr. Abdul Muhammad, and his co-host, Brother Mustafa Muhammad, pictured there with his beautiful wife, the CSO, Sister Janetta Muhammad. The 19th Element on Kafani Radio. That's featuring Dr. Aleem. Topic, esoteric aspects of COVID-19. You'll learn more about the COVID crisis, up-to-date information, supply chains, how to get a hold of them, what you can do with pooling your resources as a wealth builder. Dr. Aleem is also a member of Karatbars International. You're going to learn more about this opportunity on how we can better our community and not wait for the slave master and his children to do for us what we can do for ourselves. So tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time on the Kafani Radio Facebook page. That's the 19th Element with Dr. Abdul Ali Muhammad and Brother Mustafa Muhammad. Okay, so family, again, join us at Facebook. We appreciate you. I thank you for the opportunity and the time. Join us again on YouTube platform, Eric Ture Muhammad. Check out the YouTube channel of Eric Ture Muhammad and see what's available there. Get back to the one who introduced the opportunity of Karatbars International to you and let them know that you're ready to get busy and get started in helping others help themselves and in turn helping yourself. All right, peace and power. Here's the last clip I'm going to play as it closes. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Classes in Session. Make sure you spread the word.
Brother Ture is a beacon of light. That even when the stars of that light is gone, Brother Ture will shine for thousands and hundreds of years to come. Long live Brother Ture.
30 years since you made the call for Black Power. Is there any reason for us to be optimistic about the future?
Well, yeah, $50. We can do next generation. So first, we live a lot of that. People are right, and that's what we need. Once that is done, then we're back with standing conditions and rising consciousness. There must be revolution. American capitalism is weaker today than it's ever been. It's getting weaker every day. Every day. Every day. The system is in crisis. It is in economic crisis. It is in political crisis. Above all, it is in moral crisis. We have a responsibility here to ensure that we become a leading force in bringing to order the politics, the economics, and above all, the morals within the society.
How would you like for people to remember you, particularly African people?
Just another, as from Muhammad Ali used to say all the time, just another brother on the corner doing more or less what they all do. But in addition to that, we would like to remember there's someone who struggled with integrity. We would want to know that we represent the best of our people, that we represented honestly this struggle. That corruption is outside of the concepts of our very thinking. We'd like to leave that as an example, that if one struggles, one must struggle honestly for the people. And you can't serve two gods, you know. You can't serve the people and also not serve the people. eating and serve them faithfully. So we would hope that our legacy is that we have, with great integrity, faithfully served the cause of our people's struggle.
Long live Kwame Ture!